Megan and I just got back from another incredible weekend in Bend, Oregon, the outdoor mecca of my beautiful state, and it deserves an epic travel guide because there's just so many activities to do here. So this is my Bend Top 10. We are going to start off with a classic summer activity that is a rite of passage. You really haven't experienced quintessential Bend if you haven't floated the river. This is the Deschutes River and it runs right through Bend, and doing the river float combines nature, friends, relaxation, refreshments, and more, resulting in one good time. So grab your friends or family, grab a tube, doesn't have to be pretty, just has to somewhat float, and drop in at the bona fide starting point, River Bend Park. Then, let the current take your soul downstream to the typical takeout spot at Drake Park. This float takes about an hour and a half total, and there is one small rapid area right in the middle of the whitewater park called the Fish Ladder that adds just enough thrill to make you feel like a rebel. This is a must-do. Now let's hop out of the river and into the car for a quick 30-minute drive north where there is an iconic Oregon rock formation just waiting to be experienced. This is Smith Rock, and it is one of the 7 wonders of Oregon. It sits on a 650-acre state park, and it is a cluster of dramatic rock outcroppings that jut up from the Earth's surface, the most notable being Monkey Face. Now, the Crooked River runs right along the base of Smith Rock, which makes for one of the most breathtaking sights in Oregon. The park is open dawn till dusk, and you'll have to get there early on a weekend because it will be packed with people. If you could swing it, I would try to do sunrise or golden hour, which is just spectacular. The main hike I'd recommend is the Misery Ridge Trail to the River Trail, and don't worry about the name. It's actually a really nice 3.6 mile round trip hike where you ascend 900 feet and then you kind of zigzag your way back down to river level, and then you have this gorgeous meander back to your car along the river with mind-blowing views all along the way. We are in Bend, so we are staying with the adventure theme. I mean, it's a place where you could hike, snowboard, mountain bike, stand-up paddleboard, rock climb, and surf all in one day. And even if you don't want to do any of these, you at least can witness them in person. Head down to McKay Park or the Bend Whitewater Park to watch the surf sessions. This whitewater park is a man-made series of rapids with a primary standing wave, which is super popular among surfers. Now, I've surfed this wave before, and it is just a weird wave. If you are new to surfing, I'd recommend taking a lesson where you can learn from the best, so you can shred like these guys. Alright, after all those adventures, it is time to relax with some serious nostalgia. Okay, people, check that out. Oh wait, not Carl's Jr. Blockbuster. Literally the last one in existence. Blockbuster grew its empire from one store 40 years ago to over 9,000 stores in its peak in 2004, which quickly came crashing down with the advent of streaming, closing all but one store. That store is right here in Bend. And it's open. You can walk in and it is a total throwback to the good old days. It reminds me of every Friday night in middle school. This store smells like they did back then, like a little stale and musty, but ripe with the excitement of what movie is going to grace your screen to kick off the sleepover. When you were a kid and you walked into Blockbuster with $10, you were a king. The night was full of possibilities and it was all in the palm of your hand. And after perusing it all, we didn't rent anything, but I did have to grab some candy at the very least because 13-year-old me would have been stoked with just some candy. But I feel like 30 minutes of getting lost in the DVD section was time well spent. Next, we are heading 15 minutes outside Bend to a really nice half-day activity that is good for the whole family. Visiting the High Desert Museum. This museum is $20 a head and totally worth it. There are otters, native history, reptile exhibits, science displays, and a mini Old West. And it's not just look at the stuff on the wall. This place brings the high desert to life. It is a relaxed environment, informative, and actually really entertaining regardless of age. This past weekend, we actually saw that they were doing a Birds of Prey demonstration, and for $8 more, we were able to get a ticket to see 5 different birds of prey. We were literally inches away from them at times as they darted between us right over our heads. I would check the museum's daily schedule to try to time it right to hit one of these cool expos like Wolves or Desert Life or Birds of Prey, but even if you can't find a cool demonstration, the permanent exhibits are really cool and worth exploring. Since we are out here, we are going to bounce just 5 minutes down the road to the impressive Newberry National Volcanic Monument. This area is pretty wild as it is 55,000 acres of lakes, lava flows, and geologic features in Central Oregon. There are a number of walks you can do through the lava fields or through Obsidian or up Lava Butte, but the most famous walk in this area is the Lava River Cave. It costs just $2 per car to park, and you do have to reserve your space on the recreation.gov website. And unless you have one of your own, you're also going to need to rent a spotlight for $7. definitely bring a jacket. It's 40 degrees in here year round. This cave is over a mile long, pitch black, and really interesting. You're going to feel like you're Indiana Jones or Gollum making your way through it.
Okay, we just made it to the end, and it's a mile out, mile back. Definitely worth doing. It's a cool cave. It's big in some areas, tight in others, and gotta come check it out for yourself.
And while that is a fun activity, I'll be honest, I'd rather be outside of a cave taking in that high desert sunshine, and there's no better place than Tumalo Falls. Tumalo Falls is just a 30-minute drive from Bend, and this 97-foot waterfall is one of the most perfect falls in the state. And trust me, I've been to a lot of waterfalls. If you want to see my top 10 waterfalls, there should be a link in the description or right here. Anyway, Tumalo is just that classic rectangular free drop waterfall with a stunning backdrop. This place can get crowded in the summer, so definitely get there early. I got here at 8:15 and the parking lot was full. Oh well. There's a ton of little pull-offs all along the road kind of leading up to the parking lot that you can pull off. It's just the later in the day, the farther those pull-offs are going to be. Grab a coffee and muffin on your way and bask in its glory as you watch the sun lift the shadows from Tumalo Falls. With all this adventuring and activities, we have to nourish our bodies at some point, so let's head to the breweries. Bend has been and continues to be a brewery hotspot and a catalyst for the craft brew movement, thanks to one of the oldest breweries in Oregon being right here, Deschutes Brewing. Also worth noting some interesting breweries like Crux Fermentation Project, which is just a really fun family spot, especially at sunset, Monkless Brewing if you're into Belgian beers and European fare, and of course an Oregon staple, McMinimans, for an eclectic, eccentric, exciting atmosphere. The truth is, you can't really do Bend without experiencing its vibrant beer scene, and you can't really escape it. It's sort of everywhere. And for someone who likes beer, like myself, Bend is a beer playground with decent food, and you have to partake. Let's let the food and drink settle while we explore the Old Mill District. The Old Mill District is a mixed-use outdoor commerce and nature area with its shops, galleries, restaurants, and river path along the Deschutes. I do not like shopping at all. I don't like walking around without a purpose, etc. But I will say, after doing a whole bunch of adventurous outdoor activities, walking around all these different shops and just kind of going in and out, and also letting Megan do her thing, it's actually a nice change of pace. Old Mill is easily recognized and anchored by the 3 signature smokestacks that tower over this town. Regardless of what you do, you have to go in the evening time and experience the free concert. Hayden Homes Amphitheater is right on the river just across from Old Mill, and on concert nights, the crowds come out. Many even anchor their flotation devices in the river to enjoy the free concert as music fills the air. Next up, we are talking day trips. Bend is so centrally located, you can pretty much access any Oregon hotspot in an hour or two from Bend. Except the Oregon coast, which is my favorite place in Oregon, but that's besides the point. Depending on how you arrive or depart from Bend, you really should bundle your travel day with hitting one of these activities. To the south, you have another one of the 7 wonders of Oregon, Crater Lake. It's iconic, it's deep, so blue, incredible. To the east, you have another one of the 7 wonders of Oregon, the Painted Hills. The Painted Hills is this incredible area with vibrantly colored hills pocketed in such a unique deserty landscape. To the west is the Mackenzie River, where you have the world famous Blue Pool, which is about a 4-mile out and back hike to the strangest and coldest little pool in Oregon. And then just up the way you have Coosa Sahaley Falls, which are about a 10-minute walk apart and are just incredible and easy to access and are undoubtedly a top 5 Oregon waterfall combo and a must-hit location. And that is the end of my Bend Top 10. If you liked it, please buy some natural Oregon-made products linked below, and I hope I helped you experience the very best of Bend. We'll see you in the next one.